Sketchup is a really cool tool that is used by designers who need to design two-dimensional and three-dimensional things. Could be used for interior decorating or architecture or even designing parts for tools or for products you want to design you want to sell. Anyways, SketchUp. We're going to look at the web-based version of SketchUp. It's kind of light, but it'll serve our purposes. We're going to take a look at how we can better visualize and understand the concept of volume when it comes to prisms. So first, I'm going to go ahead and make a little rectangle. And I want to make sure this rectangle is exactly the right size. So after I draw it down here in the corner, I'm going to type what the dimensions are. I'm going to make it 3 feet by 2 feet. So that's very exact. And then I'm going to do this thing and prepare for your mind to be blown. This is kind of neat. I'm going to go ahead and do something called extruding. And what that is it allows me to pull this rectangle up and make it into a prism. So voila, I now have a rectangular prism. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I want to pull that guy up about 4 feet. So it's a different measurement than the other two edges. So there we go. And then just so that we can all see that everything stays with what I set, we're going to use a measurement tool that's built into SketchUp. And this will let me put the measurement of the dimensions on the various sides. There we go. And one more. Now, one of the other things that SketchUp will let us do is it'll take these measurements. See, the volume of a rectangular prism, which is what this is, because the base is a rectangle. And by the way, rectangular prisms have the base could either be the top or the bottom, and they both happen to be rectangles. The measurements here, 2 feet by 3 feet by 4 feet, that's how you can compute the volume of a rectangular prism. The way you do it is you say 2 times 3 times 4, that gets us 24, and we're just going to verify that SketchUp agrees with us. So I'm going to go ahead and select this entire prism, and then I'm going to make it into a group, and that'll give SketchUp the ability to show us what the volume is. And in this case, it says the volume is 24 cubic feet, 24 feet cubed. So I'm going to go ahead and put this aside. By the way, well, I guess I was going to say that this lady must be a giant, but no, 24 feet cubed is just the volume. The height we can see is 4 feet. Okay, so here's what I want to show you that's really kind of interesting. Is I want to show you how to figure out the volume of something called an oblique prism. An oblique prism is when it leans or it tilts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup this baby if I can. There we go. I think that did it. And then I'm going to go back and just select the entire top. I double clicked so that even the edges are selected on the top. And then instead of extrude, I'm going to go and use the move tool. And when I use the move tool, I'm just going to go ahead and drag this guy to the right. And as you can see, I now kind of have the leaning tower of Prism. Okay, and but something that I want you to notice is that the width is still 2 feet. The height is still 4 feet. Actually, we'll call this the width. We'll say the width is still 3 feet, the height is still 4 feet, and the depth is still 2 feet. So none of that has changed. All I did is tilt the thing. So now the question is the volume different? Did I change the volume by tilting it? So let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and select the entire tilted prism, and we're going to have, oh, and let's group it. And then we're going to have SketchUp tell us what the volume is. Here we go. Little drum roll, please. And voila, 24 feet cubed. So the entire point of, well, several things from this video. One, what's a rectangular prism? Two, what's an oblique prism? Three, how do you figure out the volume of a regular rectangular prism? And four, and the most important thing from this video is that when you have an oblique prism, it's still the vertical height times the horizontal width times the depth that gets you the volume of an oblique prism, even though it looks like it's tilted and it's not entirely obvious that it would be exactly the same thing. Okay, hope that helps you to visualize this thing a little bit.